Hello, all you shiny, happy people out there. It is now 8:27 in the p.m. Do you know where your refrigerator is? Because if not, then that means it's on the run, so you better go catch it. Lame joke. Never mind. All right, let's begin the show.
S is for the S's that have disappeared. H is for Haas, it's changed, my dear. I is for incredible, lots of changes to our edibles. F is freaky 'cause Mandela effects are all the buzz. And T is for time that's running fast. Y, memories hope they last. If it's not a fun day, won't you join me Shifty Sunday? Shifty Sunday for Emmys. Shifty Sunday, if you please.
Hello, everybody. We are live. Welcome to Shifty Sunday. I'm your host, Hebro77, along with Saji 654835. I like the way you did that, man.
Well, what did I do?
Your numbers that you put in front of your name.
Oh, I can't see it, but yeah, you have to make sure you include all the numbers whenever you say my name going forward.
Oh, every time?
Yeah, every time.
Oh, man. Well, hey, I tell you what, man. I got all my yard work done. I got all the grass mowed. I got all the weed eating done. And you wouldn't believe, like, how many branches are out there. I mean, it's like it's only been, 2 weeks, and the branches have already grown up. Like, I saw them. I'm like, shit, I don't even remember seeing them, like, just a week ago.
Huh. They're sprouting up pretty quick, huh?
Yeah. Man.
I hear that you got talking about a refrigerator running. It sounds like your nose is in the marathon.
Uh-oh. Yeah. I was hoping you couldn't hear that. But I guess
I totally can't hear that loud sucking noise that your huge nose is making.
Well,
right in front of your microphone. Yeah, totally went right past me.
Well, I got a sensitive microphone.
I know you do.
You could hear it. You could hear me knocking like a mile away.
I know, right?
Yeah. Hey, man, I'll tell you what.
I could yell out my front window and your microphone would pick it up.
It very well could. Yeah. I don't know if it's that good.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what it said on the box anyway. It said Saji 167583276854376897654789678. Whatever many numbers I done lost count. If he yells out his window, that it will pick it up at Hebrews' house. I read that on the box.
That was all on the box?
Oh, no, that was just a UPC number next to a sticker that I put my name on. But either way, you know what I'm trying to say.
Oh, I know what you're trying to say. I noticed there's some buttons on here. I don't know if they just added them or what, but there's buttons on here that I can press. It says kick from studio or banned from studio.
Oh, okay. Well, too bad I don't have those buttons because I could have a lot of fun with them. I have a new button too, though. It says Cam Mic, and it's like a little settings wheel. So I guess if I had a separate camera and it happened to have a microphone, I could adjust the levels of the microphone. So it looks like StreamYard's getting pretty high tech here, man.
Yeah, they definitely are. They're getting better. They're improving on things. I'll tell you what, I don't miss the old Hangouts, not one bit.
Oh, really?
No.
I kind of do miss standing on the corner with the boys and drinking the old English 800 and talking about gangster rap music.
Well,
like I was down. You know what I mean? Oh, you don't mean that Hangout? What are you talking about?
Not that Hangout, no.
Oh, okay.
But I got to tell you something, man.
All right.
Getting back to the yard work real quick. I got a little bit of vitamin D today.
Oh, you did, huh?
Oh yeah.
So, using my, new normal vocabulary, I can translate that into it means you got a little bit of sun.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
See, I'm on my game, man.
That's a good translator you got there.
Yeah, it's called the New Normal Vocabulary 3000. You say
wow.
things in the new normal, and it translates it to old time speak for you.
Well, I'll tell you what. That's a good gadget to have. Especially nowadays. But hey, you know what? Before we get into things, let's give this beautiful people a shout out.
The beautiful people. Well, that's that. Is there any in there?
Well, Lorraine the Moore.
Oh yeah, well she's beautiful. Okay.
So I gotta give props to the peeps. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We'll start
So
off.
that's it. That's our whole chat room, or she's the only beautiful one.
Well, I've got no comment.
Oh, okay. Well, how about the rest of the chat room? Can you shout them out too?
Oh yes, especially Eddie Von Keen is here.
The real one.
The real one, that's right. He's not selling bands down by the river right now.
That's good to know.
Mm-hmm. And we got Lorraine the Moore, of course. I just mentioned her. Michael Fontaine is in the house.
Michael Fontaine. That's what's up. Yeah, I peeped in. I saw he was watching NASCAR.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I peeped in on the chat when I was waiting on you to send me that link last minute.
Well,
I've been sitting here waiting for you to send me a link for 45 minutes.
But I tell you what, we got more to get to here.
Oh, well, okay, yeah. All right, go ahead.
We got good old Oiler Greg.
What up, Oiler Greg? I haven't seen you in a couple shows at least. Glad to see you here, though.
It's
nevertheless.
Shows. This would be a good show to announce our contest on.
Yeah, with him being, I say this all the time, and I know that, but, he did win our last contest.
But I will say this, we got Metamorphosis Mentalities.
That's easy for you to say. Metamorphosis Mentalities, huh?
No, not mentalities.
Men, like mental.
Fantalities.
Fantalities. Mm-hmm. Okay, say it from beginning to end one more time.
Well, I will as soon as I get through the rest of the list. We got a lot of people coming in, man.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
They're popping up all over the place. We got Teresa.
Kind of like the branches in your backyard, huh?
That's right.
All right, go ahead.
The branches. We got Teresa Lynch, who has branched out to us.
Okay.
We've got Preliminal.
All right.
We've got. Well, I guess that's it. That's the only people talking. We got about 15 people watching.
Well, that's what's up. It sounds like we got a heck of an audience.
We got one hell of an audience. That's
that makes it sound even cooler the way you say it.
Oh yeah, we gotta emphasize your words, man.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. I'm sorry. I can only get better with practice. That's all I gotta say about it.
But let me say that one guy's name one more time because it's so cool to say. Metamorphosis Fantalities.
Yeah, you got me wanting to go there and see that. I have a feeling that you're somehow screwing it up. No offense. Well, it sounds kind of complicated.
Well, I know it's not fatalities.
All right. Can you hear my phone?
I think I got it right. Your phone. What about your phone?
Every time all of a sudden now it wants to make that clicking noise every time I click on something.
Hold on one second here. We got Lotar 900 just popped in.
All right. Lotar 900.
Now, is it Lotar or Lutar?
I don't know. You would know better than me.
Oh. Well, see, he did an awesome call last week,
Yeah, I got to hear parts of it.
or not last week, on another show, I guess it was.
Yeah, the last time you went live, right?
That's right, man.
Let's see. It is. Oh man, I had.
Uh-oh. See, you're going to mess around and doesn't have to leave the studio. Oh, boy. Folks, I guess I have to talk amongst myself.
Did I fall out?
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm sorry. It's Metamorphosis. Wow, shoot! I had it and then I lost it again.
Well, here, hold on. Just stay right here.
Metamorphosis Fatalities.
Right.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Look, we'll put them on the screen right here. See?
Well, look at you, Mr. Fancy Pants.
He says he had a shifty weekend. Well, you came to the right place, my friend. If you've had a shifty weekend, it's a very shifty Sunday here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your show here tonight. You guys do the call-ins. We'll open up the phone lines here in just a little while. But I do believe,
and he really means it this time, guys. He's really going to open the phone lines because he told me before we even went live that he wants this show to be all about taking some phone calls from the people.
I know what's going on here.
Well, what's going on here?
Every time I sneeze, right after I sneeze, I get the sniffles. So let me just, I got to go take care of something real quick. And you take over the reins. I know you got something you wanted to talk about. So go ahead and talk about that. I'll be right back.
Okay. I always got something to talk about. But, well, shoot, he did kind of put me on the spot. I wasn't going to go into this right away, so I think I'm going to not go into it too much right away. But we are looking forward to taking some calls tonight. I would like the kind of general concept I would like to talk about tonight is the quote-unquote, it's a topic I know I talk about all the time. Well, I've talked about frequently, but it's kind of an important deal to me. So, of course, when you call in, you're welcome to talk about anything that you want to talk about. But the thing that's kind of on my mind is the new normal or the lack thereof, better yet. And I got some different things I want to share with you guys as the evening progresses and a little article I want to read about it as well. But basically, long story short, I'm just having a hard time coming to terms with this whole accepting the whole new normal as a new way of life, as if we can't go back to the old way, as if because of this virus or whatever, we're never going to be able to go back to our old way of life. I just don't see the logic in it. I mean, it's maybe if it had been what everything they said it was when we all first ran in our houses and 2 million people died and all that kind of stuff. All right, yeah, all right. Well, yeah, that would be. I could see the logic there if it was really causing third or a significant huge chunk of our population was out in the middle of the street and they can't even collect the bodies because so many people died. Okay, all right, I guess we got to change things up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and concur with that. But with it being what it actually turned out to be, not so much do I see why we need to take all these extra precautions forevermore.
Forevermore.
Yeah.
You just reminded me. I want to give a shout out real quick to our old friend Raven. She hasn't been around in a while. I really don't know the answer to that, but I'm sure she's out there somewhere. In fact,
we haven't heard from her one way or the other, have we? I mean, I know I haven't.
No.
Okay.
I just hope she's doing okay, and I just wish her well.
Yeah, I'm sure. I assume she's probably fine. I know we all are kind of going through our own little struggles, as she is probably going through hers as well. But I hope that overall she's feeling blessed and is doing quite well for herself. And a shout out to Armor too. I know he hasn't been on the show much lately. We did do a live with him about a week ago, was it? I don't even know exactly
Yeah,
what
like
night it was.
last I think it was last Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of fun,
And hopefully he'll start coming back on once in a while. I have lots of love for Armor. I've learned a lot from him, and I just really have a lot of respect for that guy. So
Yeah,
I
me
look
too,
forward.
man.
Yeah. So I just hope he joins. I'm sure he'll be joining us on occasion. I think he's just taking a small hiatus. Take care. He's got personal things he's trying to deal with. He's got his own channel. He's trying to focus on putting out content on that channel. And there's nothing but love between all three of us. So, in case anybody was wondering, it's possible he could show up at any time. I'm not saying he's going to be on tonight or anytime real soon, but he's always welcome here.
Yeah, that's right, man. Something I was going to say and I forgot. So if you're not ready to talk about that one thing yet,
I mean, I just, I already kind of brought up the topic.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a teaser,
right?
You tease them with that, and then you land it later on.
All right.
It's like hooking a fish,
Right. But I do have I got a couple different things I wanted to bring up. Let me see if I can. Tell me if you lose me.
Now, just wait a minute. I'll tell you what. Here's what I'll do. I'll go ahead and mention my thing because it's not very long. It won't take up too much time.
All right.
I was sitting in my study earlier, and I was philosophizing about, about the Mandela effect and the different theories that are out there and whatnot have you. And one of the theories is that we all died in 2012, and we came back. We're sort of reliving our lives in sort of another dimension. Like we're all in I won't say another dimension, but another reality.
Right.
And I don't really buy into that whole theory, but it is on the table, and I want to put my own little theory on the table about dying, about death.
Whoa, man, you took a turn, didn't you? About dying, about death, COVID-19. I mean, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, I just, I was feeling kind of, hold on, okay, that's better. I'm kind of echoing a little bit, bud.
There's nothing I can do at my end unless you just want me to mute up.
Yeah, if you could.
All right. Yeah, I'll mute up while you talk about what were you talking about again?
I was talking about a little theory I had about the Mandela effect.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
No, see, the thing is, we all die, and I believe that when you die, your spirit leaves your body and goes to either one place or another, or you follow God or whatever. But there's other possibilities that enter my head sometimes, and a lot of people believe in reincarnation, and their sense of reincarnation.
You said reincarnation?
Reincarnation.
Oh, reincarnation.
Right.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
A lot of people believe in reincarnation, and I have no problem with that theory, but I'd like to add that a lot of people who do believe in reincarnation believe that it happens, like, let's say somebody dies in 1892 or something like that, and then all of a sudden a baby is born in 2010. They believe in that kind of reincarnation. Someone from the past becomes someone of the future. What
what
I'm
you're
getting
saying
there.
is it could be like 100 years of your before you come back.
Yes,
Okay,
but
all right, I'm with
but
you. Yeah. All right.
but I don't believe I come up with a different theory. Um, my theory is, what if we don't get reincarnated into other people, but what if we get reincarnated into
Now
ourselves?
you mean reincarnated, right?
Reincarnated, yeah.
Okay. Now we get reincarnated into what?
We get reincarnated back into ourselves. Like we go back to the beginning of our lives. Like if I was born in 1977, I go back to 1977 as a baby and don't remember and don't carry any memories of my past life. However, some of those memories um, come back into play. And what if, and I'm not saying I truly believe this, but this is something I'm just putting on the table. Um, what if all of us somehow we were all reincarnated into our same lives within the same year that we were born to relive our life over again? But however, what if we were reborn into a different reality where everything has changed and we have past memories of our past lives that are different from our current life and our current reality? That's basically my whole theory right there.
All right.
Hinges
So
on
I
that.
think I think I made heads and tails of this. So basically, it's kind of like a reset button, um, and that is you start your life over at this. Like if you were born in 1973, you're born in 1973 again. Yet, now, are you born into the same family, the same neighborhood, the same?
Yeah,
Everything else is the same. Like you start off second one, everything is the same. Like you're in the same
right.
hospital, coming out, shooting out the shooting out, coming out to the world, to this brave new world, and the doctor slapping you on your butt, and you're crying for the first time. All the same, right?
Well, just like Lotar 900 says, it's like Groundhog Day, but Groundhog Life.
Okay.
Like,
And
yeah,
then as you're growing up, of course you're going to make slight, from that very second, you're like you mentioned, branches in your backyard. Every single decision you make or that gets made, I guess, as you're a baby, it's going to be up to your mom to make certain decisions, and your dad and your family, and you know blah blah blah. But each time there's it's another branch or a diversion off of your original timeline from the past time you lived. So by the time you're 5 years old, things could be very much the same or drastically different, depending on how things turned out. And definitely by the time you're this age, you may have chose a whole different life path, but you still would probably buy Kit Kat bars and remember, a dash. And I think that's kind of what you're trying to get at. Maybe the dash was in the previous lifetime, and that's why you feel the need for there to be a dash this time. Am I
right.
am I getting this? Am I getting you right? Am I deciphering this correctly?
You're hitting the nail right on the head, man. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, you have past memories from a past life that no longer exist in this life because reality has changed
Right.
just slightly.
And I can see how that would also make certain people seem more familiar to you, even when you first meet them. Like, isn't there sometimes when I don't just mean like in a romantic relationship, but of course that
Right.
applies too. But I just mean like you start a new job and the person sitting next to you that's kind of showing you the ropes, they just feel like you sit down and you're at the desk and you got your training module out, and the guy shows up and he says, hey, new guy, how you doing? And you already kind of feel like this guy's going to be a big help to you because and
Uh-huh.
maybe in your prior life you guys interacted somehow, some way, and he was somebody who maybe he wasn't in this job or something. It could have been a whole different set of circumstances, but they still ended up being a good mentor or somehow being a good person to you. So you already feel like familiarized with them. Do you know what I mean? Do you ever experience that?
Yes, and that brings up a good point that Michael Fontaine brought up, is that that could very well be what gives us deja vu, where it comes from. Because I know you've walked into a room or you've walked into a house like you've never been into before. At least in your reality, you've never been into it before, but you remember every single detail about this house that you've never even seen. And
Yeah, I've had experiences like that, or I've had experiences where I'm when I grew up in the town where I grew up. There's different like landmarks and fixtures, and I just remember as a kid, like there's a statue of Ulysses S. Grant on his horse in the middle of town, right? Kind of like the Simpson statue of that guy. I
yeah,
can't think, and uh, and I just remember as a kid thinking like I had memories of being there. Like when we would drive past downtown, I would be like, man, it's like I know that place. And I know I've never been there. And then finally, like as a teenager, I finally get to go out and explore the world. And I drive myself and me and a couple buddies drive downtown, and I'm standing there at the statue looking at it up close, and finally really getting to see the intricacies of it, and it just seems so like I've already been here and done that. Like I've like I don't know. I don't want to go on a tangent, but I can definitely relate. And then there's also this thing called retro causality I've been reading about lately,
hmm,
and it's talking about how we're always talking about how decisions we've made have affected our outcome and how we ended up where we are now, right? Well, there also a theory out there that that we're going to make in the future also can determine where we are now. I'm not sure exactly how. I try to wrap my brain around it. I'm like, okay, well, if I haven't made the decision yet, how come it affects me now? But I guess the point of the whole retro causality is
oh,
um, decisions I'm making now are affecting the future. So decisions I've made in the future are somehow affecting the reality now. But I don't, I'm like, hmm. So I'm trying really hard to like stay open minded and be like I'm just trying, I'm trying to create in my head at least one example of how this could be the case, right?
mm-hmm.
And the only thing I can come up with is it comes down to like not so much like things that happen, but what you're consciously wanting. Like you're, how do I put it? Kind of like it's kind of like an, uh, an instinctual behavior that you have. Like you like whenever you see a conflict, you probably generally have a response that you would generally always do. Like if you see, you're probably a person that either avoids conflict, is not phased by conflict, or you actually seek out conflict. You have different personality types, and I think that's more of how it comes into play is like your personality types, decisions that you're inclined to make by your nature. I think that they all kind of everything ties in together that way, but at the same time, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to figure it all out the same as you, my man.
You brought up a pretty good point, and it reminds me of another theory that they have. I forget the exact name of it, but it has to do with the destiny theory or something like that, where we are not in control of our own destiny. Like we don't make our own decisions. Like we get up and we do what we're going to do without even realizing that we're going to do it.
So you're saying that it's already been it's already written. We're just playing it out.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that there could be some truth to that, but I don't know, man, because
No.
I don't. I always thought it would be interesting for a future version of me to come back and give me a pep talk. Like, hey, when you meet so and so at the club, walk away. Don't talk to her. Don't get her number.
Right.
When you get this really good job at Procter and Gamble, making $30 an hour, that's the one you want to make sure you show up on time for every day. And don't stay up too late drinking the night before on Sunday night. Make sure you're there bright and early on Monday and get that promotion. And, things like that. I would love for my future self to come back and tell me these things. Now, would I actually listen? Or would I just be like, he doesn't know what he's talking about?
Right. Like we tend to do with others. Now, I will say this. It kind of conflicts with the idea of free will, though, the theory I'm thinking of, because we all have free will. And if you think that your life is already mapped out for you, then there's no free thought. There's no thought that we're going to do or decisions that we're going to make that's ours. And, I do believe we have free will, and I don't think that would be possible with free will. But it's just a theory. It's a theory that's floating out there. And when I think of the proper name for it, I'll let you know later in the show.
Okay. So is that what you call a teaser?
Oh, I guess so. Yeah.
No, but I am with you on the whole multiple timeline thing. Now, whether or not it stems from reincarnation or not, I'm not 100% sure. But I do think that we get more than one try if we. Here's the theory. The theory that I kind of subscribe to a little bit. I'm not 100% bought in, but I like some of the concepts. And that is, you come to Earth as your spirit. You're born, and this world, this 3D reality that we're in here on Earth or whatever. It is a proving ground, I guess, for you to have a 3D experience. To have flesh, to have the flesh experience. Okay, as a spirit, it's an intriguing concept to have flesh and to physically exist and to feel pain and to feel love and to laugh and to cry and to experience all the things that you experience in life, right? But I also think that it's also a moral proving ground where you kind of can work on your spiritual development and your ability to stay spiritually enlightened, even though you're dwelling in the sexual pool of flesh and blood, right? Okay, so it's an attempt, it's a try, an experience. It's kind of like you're jumping in the pool and you don't know exactly how cold the water is. You haven't felt it. You're jumping in. And you spend your whole lifetime, having all of your experiences. And at the end of it, you probably have some achievements and you probably have some regrets and however everything turned out for you, and you eventually die and you go back to, the spiritual realm. And can you go back and watch it like on a home movie? I don't know, but you still have the experience and the wisdom and the things, you have you've had that life. Okay. Now, maybe you feel like you could do better next time. Like, yeah, I kind of nailed it there in my 20s, but I really screwed it up in my 30s and 40s. I'd like to go back and try it again, So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, when I was thinking of this concept, the first thing that came to my mind was that we do all die and we do all sleep until God comes or Jesus comes back, and then God judges us all. But it got me to thinking, what if the judgment is, what if the judgment isn't a choice between heaven or hell? Like he's going to send us to hell. What if what if there's a third judgment? What if the judgment is, would you like to go back? You get an opportunity to go back and try it again. And again, I do believe that God is the ultimate judge and whatnot have you. But I also believe that there's a hidden context in that we kind of judge ourselves, like everything we've ever done in our lifetime. When we die and we go to the Lord or whoever we go to, it all comes out of us. Like everything we did, we talk about, we tell him, even though he already knows what we did, we sort of like spill our guts about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you. And you know what else I've also kind of noticed, at least with me personally, is I hear people use the terminology program, you like we have it like let's just say we're living in a simulated reality, okay, and everything is pixelated and code, okay, and our brains is kind of like an operating system and built into our psyche, our programs. Like I have certain economic programs. Like the way I handle money, the way my ability to save money, my drive to earn money. They're like kind of inert. Like I'm usually satisfied, with a mediocre job. I don't necessarily want to go, be the boss of everybody or the CEO. I don't have no. I always feel like I need to work in some type of service job. Like I really enjoyed being a bus driver, especially for the Head Start students. I just like feeling like I'm contributing to society in some way. You know what I mean? I don't want to have a job where I working on Wall Street making $1 million. That's not something I would aspire for, But to be recognized in my community as somebody who is an active contributor, that is something that I aspire for. So I'm never going to be extremely wealthy and have the nicest house and the nicest car, but hopefully the people around me that know me will know that I'm a good, honest, working person who takes care of myself and my family and earns an honest living. To me, that is my my job program, my economic program. I know I'm never going to probably be richer than a few paychecks in the bank, but I also know that I'm going to be admired and respected by most people who are familiar with me. Are you with me on this?
Yeah, I am. I did want to cut in just for 1 second and say that Suso came in here. He's watching.
Okay. That's what's up. Good to see you, Suso. But then I also have like a terrible relationship program. Like I always, when I'm in a serious relationship, I have the hardest time building, a level of trust with somebody where I feel like I can trust them. By the time I finally get them, you know, finally get to where I feel like I can trust them, half the time I've done pushed them away for so long, they've started to lose interest. And by the time they're losing interest is when I'm really ready to commit. So I always end up, haphazardly screwing up every long-term relationship I'm ever in. I don't know how I always manage to do that. I don't know if it's really quote unquote a program, but I do feel like I always do the same thing. It could be 10 years later with a totally different person, and the job or the relationship or the situation itself starts out in the same way with lots of hope and potential for success, and somewhere along the way everything plays out the way that I know it's eventually going to play out, because that's how it's played out every single time before. Does that make any sense?
Sure. And I have the same theory where if that we can't change our past, that we go back. If we do go back, this is attached to my theory I mentioned earlier on in the program. if we do go back, everything's going to play out the same way as it did before because we're not going to have a strong memory of our past. Most likely, there will be the things that come to us like deja vu and remembering an alternate reality and stuff like that. But as the theory goes, when we go back, we don't remember anything from our past life. Like our slate is wiped clean, and that really has more to do with the physical us because the limitations of the brain, and
I
less
think we don't have any conscious recollection. However, I do think on a subconscious level, and maybe even in our dreams, we still we still have glimpses of our past life.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I can relate to that. I'm not saying I 100% buy into it either. The Mandela effect really does make your brain work, though, sometimes. Because I know that sometimes when I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about certain Mandela effects, like I was listening to Brian Staley's show the other day talking about the Lassie one and how so many people make videos. He was using examples on his show, by the way, but so many people make videos of their dog trying to get their attention, and the person responding to the dog saying, "Oh no, what is it, Fido? Did Timmy fall in the well? Let's go find Timmy then." And really the dog just wants to go out, or it's just trying to play or whatever. But people say this. Why do people say this? And the guy that played Timmy in the show, the guy that plays Timmy, later grows up and makes a book, and he calls the book Timmy Fell in the Well. Why? Why does he call it that? I don't know. It's not because there was ever an episode of Lassie where Timmy actually fell in the well, because there isn't one. So how does everybody in the freaking world remember Timmy falling in the well? Even Timmy writes a book called I Fell in the Freaking Well.
Mm-hmm.
But no, wait. I never actually fell in the well. I just thought it would be a clever idea for a book.
Right.
I mean, so I'm thinking to myself, all right. So Timmy obviously knows he fell in the well because he titled his book that. Every dog in the United States knows Timmy fell in the well when they're trying to get their owner's attention. But for whatever reason, we can't seem to find an episode of Timmy falling in the well. Now, there has to be a logical explanation for this. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, what could it possibly be? And the only thing I can think of is it had to have once been a reality where it actually happened. There's no way this many people know that Timmy fell in the well and it never happened. Logically, misremembering does not come into play here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm sorry. I get carried away sometimes. It fires me up because I'm sitting here trying to come up with a logical explanation. I'm like, is it possible that the logical explanation is that we all just misremembered it? No, that is not possible. So now you're left with some type of supernatural phenomenon, right? That when you come to the point that your logic tells you, well, geez, it must be a supernatural phenomenon. You really came a long way with, ruling out all the other more logical things first, right? Yep, sure did. Well, I guess it is a supernatural phenomenon. Crickets.
Well, here's the thing. I got the phone number on the screen, and we already have some callers sitting there waiting. Even though
we do. Well, shoot, man, bring them on in.
Well, here's the thing. I haven't opened them up yet. I have to open the phone lines. Hold on.
I mean, all this time you could have had this done, my friend. Well, what are you doing over there?
Well, I gotta Hold on a second, guys. We're gonna mute you guys up first, and
This free conference call is provided by the conference.
let me. Okay, caller, you're muted up, and when we're ready, we'll get you in here. But with that being said, did you have anything else to add to that?
No. I'd like to hear it from our caller. I'd rather hear somebody else talk than me for a change.
All right, cool. Well, here we go. I don't know who this is, so we're in for a surprise, I suppose. Are you ready?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, caller. I'm going to unmute you now. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
It's Lota 900.
Lotar, how are you, brother?
Can you hear me?
Oh, loud and clear.
Not too bad.
Can you hear him?
You could bring him a little closer to the microphone, to your ultra sensitive microphone.
My ultra sensitive microphone. Okay, there we go.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear him, Saji?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys were talking about my name earlier, right? How to pronounce my name.
Yes, sir.
Now, okay, so all you have to say is Lo
Lo.
is the first,
Uh-huh.
and then Ta.
Lota.
So Lota is that's how you say the name. In
Lota.
German, it's Lothar.
Uh-huh.
Lothar in like English. So there's two ways of saying it.
Okay.
Okay? So there's not really a mistake about it. But you
So
guys
do you prefer Lota or Lotar?
I don't care. It doesn't I don't even care. It doesn't matter.
All right. Well, I like Lota. It just sounds so like Viking warrior-esque. Yeah.
Yeah. But you guys were talking about reality and different dimensions, different parallel universes and such and such.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. When I was a child, I could remember things very, very avidly. So, like, more or less, I remember sitting around the table, and I knew my sister would drop this coffee cup. And it was filled with hot chocolate. And I knew it slipped out of her hands, and she dropped it on the floor. Okay? I knew this was going to happen because I seen it predicted before. So, but this time she didn't. This time the cup exploded on the table.
Whoa.
So, yeah. Now you know there's different realities, and you have to understand is, remember when, I think there is a quote in the Bible where Jesus says, if you believe in me, I give you eternal life.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say how his eternal life would be. Maybe this would be the eternal life he's explaining to us. The different universes. Even with technology, you guys remember call display when it first came out?
What did you say? Remember what?
Call display, like on your telephone.
Oh yeah, like
yeah.
so you can identify who's calling. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So now, did you first see that coming out in the late 90s? Or did you guys see that in the early 2000s? When do you guys remember that?
I kind of first remember it like right around 96, 97 as being a thing, and you had to pay extra for it.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
weird that he should say that, because I'll give my answer real quick.
Okay. Go ahead.
I kind of remember it coming around mid to late 80s, to be honest with you.
Okay. Now, here's the strange thing. I remember it when I was a child in one of my realities. So in one of my realities, it was out in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
But in this reality, we still had rotary phones till like 1987, almost to 1990 in Canada. And then when I lived in Germany, it was the same way. You still had the rotary phones. What's really strange, some technology hasn't advanced when others have, like other technologies has had more advancements made. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a strange thought, but if you look at it, I grew up with records, tape, then cassettes, then CDs. It's kind of odd. There's something wrong. There's something wrong with people remembering certain things, like no flying cars. That's never going to happen anyway. Stuff like that.
Yeah, Suso said.
But
Yeah.
there is, but there's certain things what I do believe in with, like, okay, we have a thing called Siri, right? So you plug her in and you can ask her questions.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is she doesn't know half the questions.
Mm.
So I unplugged it. I have one here, and I unplugged it because it was annoying. Because I'm always asking questions, right? And I always look up the answers on the computer and everything. So I'm going to test her out for a couple of hours and see how it works. Well, she doesn't answer. Really sure of that. I'm not really sure of that. I'm not capable of doing that yet. You know what I mean? And that's kind of dumb because the answers are all on Wikipedia.
Sure.
So there's something wrong with that technology. So, and it's even like you were saying, a reincarnation. I believe in that. I think I've been here so many times. It's ridiculous already. A building I work in, I knew I was going to work in here. I knew every detail of this whole building, like deja vu. Like right now I have 42 suites in total. I know every single person's name, last name, how much rent they pay, their phone number in my head. I know everything already, and I know who's going to be a good tenant or a bad tenant. You know what I mean? I know what happens. But the strange thing is, I could always do this when I was a child. If I walk up to somebody, and if they die within the next 3 days, I can tell you when they're going to, like I could tell when a person is about to die.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's the scary part. And that's what I don't like about it.
Now, sometimes
I have people.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you ever get a dream like that where somebody's going to die and then it turns out it's actually somebody else? I know I have those dreams sometimes where they do come true, but most of the time it ends up being a different person than what I'm dreaming about.
You mean they die in your dream or something like that?
Yeah.
You mean
Yeah.
I don't really get that in my dream. I just get that when I look into their eyes. I can tell right away when I look into their eyes, deep into their eyes. I know when I can actually sense their death. I can smell their death by looking into their eyes. It's really scary.
It's funny you mentioned that. I met a guy once at a company party. Like one of my coworkers brought a guy in that she was engaged to the company Christmas party or whatever. And I just remember when I made eye contact with that guy, I had like a shiver go through me, like something like a cold feeling as soon as we made direct eye contact with each other. And it turned out like a week later, he ended up dying in like a car accident or something.
Oh, wow.
And I've always wondered ever since then if I was like picking up on that or what caused me to have such a startling reaction when I met the guy and I was shaking his hand, looking him in his eye. It was like I just had like a cold chill go through me. It was really weird, but yeah, so I can relate to some degree. That's the only time I ever experienced it to quite that degree. And I could go on about other little minor examples, but that's the most extreme one.
You know what's really extreme? If you ask Suso when he was working in the bar, he could probably tell you what type of drink would be good for that person because he serves drinks to people. And you sort of get to know people when you work in a bar. Like, a guy will come in, he'll order a beer. Okay, but he'll probably know what kind of beer he wants. And then there'll be the odd guy. He's a little bit older. He'll probably want, like a whiskey, scotch and whiskey. I don't know, a whiskey with ice cubes or something like that. You know what I mean?
We're gonna ask Suso here in a minute. I believe he's the next one on the line. I don't know.
Yeah. So you can ask him. There's the strange, a strange thing what happens when you work and you're in contact with people. And the strangest thing is, here's the strange thing. And I was thinking about this the other day after the phone call, and I forgot to mention it. I think the higher ups know that we can do this, because if we were actually placed here by some source, like you're saying in 2012 or 2006 for some people, that they are trying to weed out those people and find who we are, kind of strangely enough, because we don't actually belong here. And they're sensing this, and they're locking everything down because, you know what? It's a little too far-fetched, and they want everyone to download this app. They want everyone to do certain things. They're testing people, but they're testing people in the wrong way. So it's not even, they're grabbing your DNA, they're not looking for any viruses. It looks like maybe the people who are Mandela affected have a different DNA. This is what I'm thinking. This is a hypothetical question. I was going to ask Suso about this. If we are from a different reality, we might have a different DNA than anyone else here, because we're remembering things differently. Like, that thing is changed, and everyone knows it has changed. Like cereal boxes. I don't care what it is. It's not. You got to understand, we don't belong here for some strange reason. We know we don't belong here because some things are too far-fetched for a lot of people in reality, and it doesn't make any sense anymore. And maybe this is what they're trying to do. I don't know how we got here. That's like another question. I can't explain everything, but I think something is wrong with the whole reality set where we can't reset ourselves into a normal speed, because people are acting like AI. People are glued to CNN like they're zombies. It freaks me out. I can't even look at the TV anymore. I can't go up to the TV and sit. You can ask anyone. I cannot sit in front of the TV for more than a minute. I have to walk away.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what I might do. In fact, I think I'm going to try. I've never tried to do this before, but I know it's possible. Suso, I do believe he's on the line behind you. So what I might do is go ahead and unmute him, and you could take your questions directly to him if you want to stay on the line.
Yeah, I'll just stay on here if he wants to talk to me. If he wants to talk about something else, I'll just pop off. It doesn't really matter. So, you know what I mean? It's just a simple question. I have a question for everyone on your chat room, your panel. Do you think you actually belong here? Because I think we don't, because we remember things in a different way. That's all. You know what I mean? It's like we were grabbed and replaced, and without our knowledge or our thing. It's gotten to the point where, I had a birthday on Thursday, right?
Oh yeah. That's when I had my show. Thursday, that's right. Yeah.
So here's the strange thing, okay? My family always used to celebrate birthdays and stuff like that for everyone else. I've never, I used to get cards sent from my sisters, and, my sister would give me a card, whatever. But it was never a big celebration for my birthday. It was like I was not wanted or something like that. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, kind of thing. And then, it seemed kind of strange. Like, I've always been like this outsider. And I noticed all the people who believe in the Mandela effect are kind of the outsiders. Where they don't connect even with their family members. It's like you're brought in, like you're stuck in. You know what I mean? I don't know if everyone has that same reality, but here's a question for you. Get Suso up here.
Do what now?
Suso off of mute and ask him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, let's okay, we're gonna bring Suso on. And this is the first time I think anybody's ever done this, has had a sort of a double call. But let me go ahead and do this, see how this works. Unmute Suso. Suso, you there?
I am. Another first for me on this channel.
Hey, brother. What's up?
What's up? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. This isn't your
I can
first.
hear you loud and clear.
This isn't the first. You've been on before.
Beautiful.
But no, I'll let you guys.
Since you're having 2 calls.
Oh, the first. Yeah. You got to understand, sometimes I have those blonde moments. Even though I'm not blonde.
I think I was actually the first call.
Yes, you were. Yeah.
Oh, I'm lagging. I am lagging.
Uh-oh. Well, like I said,
I can always pop off real quick.
Yeah, I do want to answer these questions. Listen, as far as not feeling like you belong here, I do believe you belong here. You're exactly where we're supposed to be. And I think as far as that feeling like you don't belong here, probably felt that way as a child as well. You always probably felt like the odd man out or just somebody a little bit different. That's how it was for me. I always felt like I had to be the responsible one, and just different things. But as far as the DNA changing, yeah, for sure, because I think it's your consciousness. No, I want to word that differently. I think it depends on where you're tapped into consciousness, your spirit, who you really are, that essence of who you really are, wherever it is tapped into consciousness, that's what you're experiencing and how you move around there. See, the other way I used to explain it was, we shift through timelines. Now I'm under the impression I'm just experiencing a different part of consciousness here. I'm learning and growing more and understanding consciousness. I don't think I have a consciousness. I'm tapped into it, and we all are. Okay? So that's why, I feel like it's going to be strange because things are changing. We're growing. We're learning more. We are learning more. If you're Mandela affected, and now we've come across this, to me, we're supposed to be using what we learned from the Mandela effect to shift ourselves away from this or shift to what we want. And depending on how much we've learned from the Mandela effect and how good we are at it, will depend on how fast it happens. And I do think it's going to be an individual thing as well as a collective thing. I mean, that's you need to learn how to hit a baseball before you can be on a team, So you need to learn how to focus your thoughts to where to that that was on the tip of my tongue. All those dimensions or the many mansions. Trying to use your terms. If you want to experience that stuff, we are so in nursery school, and we're getting and I think we're supposed to be so much further along. And that's why we're getting hit with all this. But, okay, you passed nursery school, now you're in kindergarten, but you're getting 3rd grade stuff, okay? I think we really need to, me, anything more than I ever have, and I can't tell you, it really, really seriously helps when I feel like I'm agitated about something. For instance, the masks. I didn't know why I was agitated about it. I didn't do any research on it. I just knew I wasn't going to wear one. I just think it's inhumane. It's ridiculous for everybody to walk around with masks on. You can't see a smile, can't see a face. Besides that, then when I did do the research, I was like, okay. Now I really don't want to wear one. I don't understand how the government can do their own research, come out and say, well, we found out masks aren't really helping stop the virus, or it is by like 0.01% or something like that. And but everybody's still wearing them. I put hold on, my cat wants to go out. It's snowing out, by the way.
Do what now?
I took the video. Yeah, go. You wanted to go? Go.
Wow.
Yeah, it's snowing.
It's snowing where you're at?
Like it's oh, for sure. That.
Oh, wow.
I just figured, yeah, if it was, if yesterday was summer, it would be absolutely beautiful. All the trees are white. Yeah. Of course, I want to throw up. But anyway, I put on a Springs was opening up, and I put this video on, and this guy was sitting in a restaurant with the mask off, but everybody behind him had the mask on. The waiter had the mask on. Everybody's doing the 6 feet thing. And I'm just like, no. You need to boycott stuff. You can't go there. You have to stop. But what did you guys call them? Did you say anything about an NPC? That's something else. Yeah. The sheep, or whatever you want to call them, the people that are just going to do what they're told, which could be considered NPC or sheep, or just, look, the government said, listen, I'm pretty close with some people who are absolutely 100% sure the government or the news would never, ever lie. Okay? And this person often, for the past 2 years, has often looked at me cockeyed and laugh at me and make fun of me, and I laugh back, and I just say, ha ha, and to me, it was a joke. I didn't care. Now, I really feel sorry for her. I'm really upset for her, and we talked this morning, and I didn't push. I did not push. But she sat there, and she goes, look, you believe, and she didn't even know what to say, and I said, crazy wacko stuff, and she said, yeah, and I believe, but we need to wear a mask, and we should be wearing gloves. We're not wearing gloves here. I think the people in the kitchen should have masks on and wear gloves. I don't understand why they're not. And I'm like,
right.
They're all over the country. Yeah. I mean, so she goes, yeah, I don't understand it. And I said, exactly. It doesn't make sense. Then she started talking about flights and plane rides. And I said, exactly. Why? She goes, some flights, you have to wear a mask. Some flights, you don't. Some flights, they do this. Some flights, you do that. And she goes, and if everybody would just listen to what do what they're saying. And I said, but they're saying 2 and 3 and 4 different things. And she says, yeah, I know it doesn't make any sense, but if everybody was doing it, we would get this thing. She goes, this isn't forever. And I said, I hope, because I was crying yesterday listening to what they're going to do with baseball, okay? I was crying. I will never watch baseball on TV. Nobody should watch baseball. When they put this bullshit on TV with no fans, nobody better turn their TVs on, because that's when the TV company makes money, and that's how these people are going to get paid. If they're not going to do it like that. They're going to give in and go, okay, let's let them in with masks. And you know what? We still don't go, because we're not wearing masks. We don't need masks. The masks, at this point, we realize, most people realize, they'll make you sicker than anybody getting anything or whatever.
Yeah, I want to chime in on that, Sue. So I think it has a lot to do with where you get your information from. If you're listening to, let's say, CNN, you're Mr. I got to have them. Everybody better wear a mask all the time. And if you're listening to Fox News, you're like, well, maybe, we should just wear masks, sometimes if we're in really close vicinity of each other. Or if you're getting your information from, truthers on YouTube channels or Twitter or something like that, you realize that it's just, you're under the impression that it's a psyop just to try to make you, to see how much you're willing to conform. So, I mean, honestly, everybody's reality is based off of what media they're subscribed to more than anything else, it seems like.
See, that's very true, and there's more than one outlet out there. So, and me, I'm trying to stay away from CNN, NBC, and all that crap. So I don't even know what they're telling them. So what am I getting? I'm doing my own research. I'm not, and even when I hear somebody say something, I don't take the fact right up front. As far as the masks and people losing their identity, thank you, Catherine. Yeah, but you're also going to be breathing in less oxygen, and you're going to be more docile and more receptive to doing exactly what they suggest. You know, all these suggestions have become laws overnight. A suggestion has become,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to explain to people. I mean, I was having a conversation with some people that own around here, and they're like, well, the commissioner said it's the law. You got to put. I said, there's no way they made a law that quick that you have to wear a mask. So stop
Right.
that.
Right.
Commissioners cannot make laws. Sheriffs cannot
You know-
make laws. Mayors cannot make laws. It's going to, it's going to take time for that. And I don't know what they're going to do. They can't possibly pass something like that when most information, they shouldn't be wearing it.
Something I've noticed.
People are going to become docile and just do what they're told because they're not getting any oxygen.
Mm-hmm. Something that I just wanted to chime in real quick too is say that I noticed in the smaller towns, like I come from a small town, and I went to the dollar store the other day, and there was hardly anybody that had a mask on. I think, except for the cashier, which the cashiers now, if you notice, now they have the plexiglass up at the register. Yep. Have you noticed that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I had a guy behind plexiglass with a mask on trying to say hello to me, and I kept saying, what? What?
Yeah.
He kept saying hello under his mask, and I kept saying, man, I can't hear you. What are you saying? And I was kind of joking with him, but I didn't know him, so I didn't want to push it. Now, there was another guy I did the exact same thing with that I knew. And
can I ask a question?
He was laughing under his mask.
Suso, I need to ask a real quick question to you real quick. I'm thinking people who are watching TV are being hypnotized by something unusual. There's a guy on YouTube who uses those 3D glasses on normal TV, and there's something else behind the TV shooting beams into people's light, or in beams, like a beam of light into people's eyes. Wondering if people are getting brainwashed from watching TV. This is why I'm sensitive to light. I can't stand watching TV. Maybe this is part of it. But I'm thinking people are being programmed, like that's why they call it television programming, to believe in the worst, because there's people in my building, they don't walk out the door without a mask on. You know what I mean? They'll drive in their car, and this is Canada. I mean, 7 people died in our whole province of Manitoba. It's not even serious anymore. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking there's something going on with the television sets where they're actually melting your brain to dumb you down to believe with everything they say, because they don't make sense anymore. I'm wondering if you think the same thing.
Well, because things don't make sense, they have. To me, that would be on purpose, not that stupid. Okay, the things that they're coming out with are being done on purpose. I don't care how stupid and how obvious it seems. It was a mistake. I doubt it. I want to hone back in on your question. What was it?
Like,
I think he was asking you if the TVs are brainwashing us.
Hang on.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop off because the connection is really bad.
The truth is, and they're keeping the sheep busy. Well, that was easy. And they're busy, and nobody's really. What else is going on? Okay, I thought it might be something going on in the sky because of the star links and all the talk of the comets and all that stuff going on. The best I saw, it was super windy during the comets or when they were supposed to be coming by. I thought, well, it might be something in the sky. It still might be with this Elon Musk guy putting 7,000 more of those things in the sky. I saw 2 of those star links accidentally without looking for them. And it's funny because it's a couple videos back. I didn't even know it was in April, and I'm trying to film it, and you can hear me going, I don't believe it. There's another light following another light and another light and another light, and I didn't know what it was. I'm like, well, I guess this is normal during a pandemic.
Jeez.
And I kind of, I put it on the video and kind of blew it off because I'm like, I don't expect to see that again. And then I saw it again. And then
Wow.
I jumped on YouTube, and I happened to go on, it was Globebusters, and they happened to be talking about the Starlinks. And I'm like, no way, that's exactly what I saw. I was like, oh, that's so weird. What is this? And I find out it's Elon Musk putting this stuff up there for communication, and he's already admitted that it's no better than what we already have. And I'm like, well, then why are we doing it? But I also think it's probably not what they're saying. Okay, first off, is the sky a screen? Is it projections? Is that why they're doing that? Are they realigning shit? I mean, I don't know. Are the stars going to start moving? Are the stars going to start falling out of the sky like I saw in 15? Is that going to actually start happening? So now they're putting other shit in the sky, so we can't really tell. Or we go, oh, wow, that's the Starlinks. I wouldn't worry about it. Or are they projectors? And is
That's weird
Jesus
that you
and
would.
every other religious figure going to be projected out of the sky?
That's weird. You know.
I don't know. These are.
I'd hate to like make this comparison or anything, but it kind of reminds me of what they did. What was that Star Trek movie? It kind of reminds me of the holodeck. They were replacing all of those people's reality with their own reality that they projected with the holodeck. It almost sounds like that's what's happening, that we're living on some sort of holodeck.
Insurrection. Star Trek Insurrection.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Sorry, I know that.
Yeah, but that's what this all kind of reminds me of.
Yeah, I used to be proud of that.
Huh?
Yeah, I could probably still name every episode. So I used to be proud of that stuff. I could probably still name every episode. Except the ones in the original series that I'm kind of freaked out about, so I've stayed away from them. I've done videos on them years ago about how when I first started watching Star Trek, the original series, there were 62 episodes. 61 if you count the double episode as one episode. And it was always that way. Well, now there's like 89. And that just blows my mind.
Wow.
Because there's a lot of second season episodes that are in season one for me now. That's the way is for me. And there's a lot of third season episodes that just seem, I don't even know how to explain it. That's why I've stayed away from the third season. Because how do I explain it? There's episodes that are titled differently than I remember, and but it's like every time I watch an episode, I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of remember that. And it's weird because I don't, but I kind of remember. So you know what it could be just I shifted into a timeline where I saw all 89 episodes, but I remember there was only 62.
All right. Well, you sound like you have sounds like you have dual memories.
Yes. I do have. This happened in 16 and 17 for me. I have memories of stuff that I know did not happen, but these things actually happened. But for me, physically, I don't know how to explain it. They didn't happen for me physically, but I remember the stuff happening for sure. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I mean,
Okay.
It does, but
I know for a fact there's one thing that there's like I would not have done that in a million years. I would have not have done it. It just wouldn't have happened. For the person that I am, it wouldn't have happened. I can see where it could have happened. I can see where it could have happened with a lot of people. But for the person who I am, it just wasn't going to happen. And I remember it not happening. Yet it happened.
Now, let me ask you this, though. One of my favorite, I think it's a two-parter, but one of my favorite episodes is where I think they go back to the 1930s and they're fighting Nazi war criminals or something like that. Or I think it's Spock's building his own machine to try to get back or something. And he's getting all the parts, but he's wearing that hat. You remember the what do they call those hats? Beanies? I don't know what they're called. They cover your ears. You know what I'm saying? That episode.
Yes, I do know what you mean. I don't know what episode was that.
Let's see here. I've got the
Were they? You said they were fighting Nazis.
yeah.
I think that was a season 2 episode. I think. I'm not sure if I remember it.
I think it all
I
started when
remember,
Defrost
oh,
Kelly.
you know what I know about those? Like the Apple. I think there was an episode called The Apple. Okay, or no, it was called Apple for me, and now it's called The Apple. And we've seen that stuff before.
Yeah, yeah. Everything the does are either disappearing.
I remember that.
The word "duh"
So,
is either disappearing or they're adding the word "duh" to things. I've noticed that too. Have you noticed that it gets added as well?
Yes, the word "the" will get added. Like it got added for the Apple, the Changeling. The Doomsday Machine was just Doomsday Machine. And I really thought that Journey to Babel was called The Journey to Babel. I could be wrong about that. The Wolf in the Fold. I know it was called The Wolf in the Fold. The title of the episode is actually Wolf in the Fold. There's no "the" in front of it. But there's a lot of those for these episodes, and like I said, and I'm going to spin through the 3rd season right now. I'm going to look it up here, and I just don't. I recognize a lot of the titles. Spectre of the Gun, I don't know. They all look like stuff I've seen. Every once in a while I'll watch one. I won't remember the first half hour, and then I remember the end of it. Like, I remember that.
Yeah, I do that a lot with. Yeah, I do that a lot with Next Gen. I'll start watching the episode, and about halfway through, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I know this," And that's the funny thing is I've seen all those episodes. Like, I won't say 1,000 times, but I've seen them close to 100 times. I know. Oh, by the way, the name of the episode on the original series that I was talking about is called All Our Yesterdays. That's funny. Because I seem to remember it being all our something about yesterday. I didn't know it was called Yesterdays. But that's the one I was talking about.
All Our Yesterdays?
Uh-huh.
Was that the one where Spock goes back in time? To another ice planet?
I don't know. I remember him putting together some machine, and somebody that had asked him what he was doing, and he was giving them some kind of goofy explanation, a whatever machine or something like that. I don't know what it was.
So I have it right here. It is actually the second to the last episode ever. All Our Yesterdays. Kirk, Spock, and McCoy enter a time portal and get stuck in the past on a planet about to be consumed by a nova.
Okay, that was. But let me ask Lothar or Lothar. Are you still on there, buddy? I guess we lost Lothar.
No, yeah, Lothar said he had to go. He was rebooting his computer.
Oh, okay. So, well, there you go. I hope you.
Really interesting questions that he asked me because I really had to ask them questions to myself.
Well, I
really needed to ask those things myself. I think we're absolutely where we're supposed to be all the time. And I think it's very uncomfortable for us because we have shifted, we have advanced, and we leveled up, and we're into a spot where we just don't understand. It's uncomfortable. We don't understand it. It's different. It's new. Reality doesn't work the same way it did before. It's possible that it never worked the way we thought it did. We were just so sure it did. It seemed to, but we always struggled. There was always a problem, or you got to work the 40 work, pay your bills before you can go swimming in a pool for enjoyment. I mean, come on. Something's wrong with that as well, but we were all accepting. I mean, we were already slaves to being and work all the day. I mean, depending on how you looked at it. And now I'm realizing that's what it's about. It wasn't about working 40 hours just to get a vacation. It was about your attitude the whole time and where your focus is and where what's in your head, what's going on. And it's harder now, and this is great because this is a wonderful lesson for me because I'm like, okay, how am I supposed to project that it is absolutely positive and fantastic? I don't want to sit in the doldrums all the time, and right away my higher self wants to talk. It pops in. I'm in communication with it, and so are you, by the way. And all it is you're tapping into that part of consciousness that you're tapped into, and ask it questions because it answers me all the damn time. I'm never listening, and if I would listen, it would be so much easier. And you know what I mean. I'm calling it different terms. I go through this with Armor Up. I go through this with Dan. I go through this with Brian Stavely. It's just different terms, man. That's just the way it's comfortable for me to talk about. That's how I communicate it with. I've decided that it doesn't need a label. Well, I'm sorry. It told me it don't need a label. I use the term higher self because that's what I'm comfortable with.
Hey man,
but I tap in and I ask.
Hey, I'm fine with that. Yeah, it is weird how everybody's got their own, set terminology, but we're all really kind of we're all saying the same thing. We're just not saying it with the exact same verbiage. So I'm with you on that.
I think so.
And that's a general statement. I mean, everybody's got their own personal, convictions and ways that, ideologies and ways that they see things. And everybody's entitled to their own opinion and their own point of view. As a matter of fact, I've learned so much from experiencing, listening to other people's perspectives. It's enlightened me. I mean, I've came a long way just by simply, realizing that, wrapping my head around a concept that I was previously unaware of that I could even try to wrap my head around.
Well, I got to tell you, Suso, I got a question for you. Huh?
What's that?
Oh, I just have a quick question for you, if you don't mind.
No.
All right.
I don't know that I have an answer.
Well, no, I just want to ask you, have you heard about, they're talking about, they've done some research, and this is going to sound very weird to everyone. And it's going to be against the contrast of what we've been taught, or not taught, but what we've learned. I did quotation marks with my fingers. I know you didn't see them, but what we've learned.
I actually saw them.
Oh, you did? Okay. Well,
I did too.
But then what, the media has told us about COVID-19.
I saw them that time as well.
Yeah, well, definitely. Yeah, I made sure you did. But what they told us about COVID-19, they talked about how smokers and people with lung conditions were the worst ones for getting it. Like they would be more likely to get it. Well, now some research has been done. I think Michelle shared this with me. I'm not sure who shared it. They're talking about smokers and people who are on nicotine patches are less likely to get it, that they are actually immune to it somehow. Have you heard
Well,
this?
yeah, I think the way the study goes is they're not reporting people who have who smoke or have the nicotine patches are haven't been are statistically lower than what they were expecting. Let's just put it that way.
I have not heard that.
No, that was, I forget who shared it with me. I think it was Michelle that shared it with me. And
But now I want to smoke more.
Right.
I mean, I'm not no medical expert or anything, but I'm thinking that maybe it's because you have extra stuff in the way of keeping the virus from being able to go directly and attack some like clean, easy to reach targets, because it attacks cells in your lungs, and if you're already kind of been smoking, there's kind of like I'm imagining there's some type of tar or stuff in the way that's playing like a middleman, is kind of a barrier, creating a natural or unnatural barrier, depending on which way you want to look at it. I mean, that's my best idea I can come up with in my mind as a possible explanation as to why.
I can't imagine that, because doctors have told us for years that smoking, that people who smoke are more acceptable to getting pneumonia. And isn't this COVID-19 some sort of it's a lung?
Were those air quotes again?
Oh yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's everything that it's that this is uncharted ground, though. This is don't forget well, I hope you notice them. The novel part of the name, it's new. It's a brand new blend. It's Tang 3000. You've never experienced anything like it before.
Oiler Greg says he can smoke through his mask for safety.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, I'm already way up here in this altitude, so that's already less oxygen. I figure wherever it's, I don't know, 75, 80 degrees or higher, that's also got to be hard. I don't think you should be allowed to wear a mask if it's 75 degrees or higher, or if you're higher than, say, 3,000 feet, 4,000 feet. I think that's a big deal. The thing's attracted to what? Less oxygen, and everybody's putting masks on. I mean, come on.
Yeah, doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Go ahead.
I can't believe it's snowing over there where you're at. That's so bizarre to me. I mean, not that it couldn't happen because you're in the place where you're at. I understand, but it just seems so weird because I'm sitting here in like 90-degree weather. You're talking about snow.
Oh yeah, I mean, believe me, I don't want to be sitting in that humidity. I'm sure.
Man,
I don't mind that. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm tired of looking at snow, but it snows 9 months a year here. I think 2 years ago it snowed 10 months. Last year, in August, September, was it July, August, September? It didn't snow. And that's what it looks like we're doing again. It looks like it's going to snow right up until July.
Wow.
I mean, it's not. It doesn't. Like, listen, this morning it was blanketed. It was totally white, and it stopped and kind of melted, and everything was kind of slushy. And then from about 1:30 in the afternoon till just recently, it just kept snowing.
Wow.
But it's only laying on the cars. It's not on the street.
Saji sounds like you need to.
I stopped watching the news.
Saji sounds like you need to move out there where Suso is.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Guess what? We had Red Shirt Blues pop up in the chat room. He said, "Speak my name and I appear."
That's right. Talk about synchronicities. We were talking about Star Trek, and I guess his Star Trek radar must have went off.
It must have. But no, I would love to live where Suso is at. I think that would be a great part of the country to reside in.
Oh, yeah, it's nice. Listen, I mean, I don't know. It's like, would I trade it? Listen, I can just take a vacation and go sit on a beach somewhere where it's hot and humid for a week or two, and believe me, that would be enough. I'd be like begging for the snow. I don't know.
I've got for the next 3 months. I'm going to have plenty of hot and humid down here in St. Petersburg, Florida. So
it was so humid over where I'm at that when I was mowing my lawn, I had to take breaks in between mowing the lawn because if I didn't, I might have had heat stroke or something like that. You know, so it's just so humid over here. You know.
Tell me you were not wearing a mask when you were mowing.
No.
No, he wouldn't do that. He's much more cautious than that. He was wearing 3 just to be on the safe side. He had 3 on.
I think it's scary. I think it's sad, but I think it's scary that, you know, I saw a guy driving down with a motorcycle with the mask on with his motorcycle, and I just thought, okay, that'll keep the bugs out of your teeth. That's about the best that's going to do. I don't understand that. I don't understand people in their cars by themselves with their windows rolled up with the mask on. And
no, if you could tell he was wearing a mask, that means he didn't have on a helmet.
Wait. I guarantee you people are sleeping with the mask on.
Oh my gosh.
And you can't do that. And I guarantee it's happening. Come on, I see what these people are doing, and some of them are so afraid. I guarantee you they're out there sleeping with it on, and I think that's sad.
Well, yeah, that's Now I was.
You know, but then again, go on.
I was getting ready to say I was wearing the mask when I go inside a store or something like that. But I mean, I come out of there.
Yeah, but let me ask you this: when you put on the mask, you're not putting it on for your own safety or you're doing it as a social, for social acceptance, right?
Well, not so much. So, well, yeah, to
keep from getting dirty looks from the other people, right?
Well, that's true. But as soon as I leave,
without a mask, I get looks.
as soon as I leave the store, though, I take it off.
But you realize that the mask is not doing really anything except being there. I mean,
no, you might as well put a paper on your face. You know,
right? But what I'm getting at is you're not wearing the mask for any under the impression in your mind that it's serving any real safety precautionary purpose, correct?
No, if you're gonna get something, you're gonna get something, whether you're wearing a mask or not.
There you go.
When
I was downstairs today, I saw a commercial. This girl's got a mask on, and all it says, it's just now. It might have been muted, so I didn't hear what was going on. And I just saw the girl with the mask, and I'm shaking my head, and because it puts a pit in my stomach every time I say it. And then it just says the word mask, and then it says we wear it for our grandparents, we wear it for our neighbors. We wear it for our friends. Mint before mask. It was like for a mint. But, you know, it just said mint before mask. They already started putting mask commercials out.
Oh, boy.
They want you to take a mint before. I mean, come on.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's funny you should mention that, Suso, because Saji had a segment he was going to do. He's going to talk about and I think we might still talk about it after this phone call or whatever. We could do it while you're on the phone, but I mean, he was going to talk about the new normal, what everyone's calling the new normal, and how they're saying now that that's going to be a permanent thing, that people are just going to be wearing masks all the time now.
Right. Yeah, actually, here I want to go. Well, I got you here on the line, Suso, because I like to get your 2 cents worth on it. I want to read something real quick, just real briefly. I want to get your response, okay? It's can you guys hear me okay?
I can.
All right. We're hearing the word dystopia a lot lately, right? I'm sure you've heard it. Even on the news, they're using the word dystopia or dystopian reality. So I'm like, okay, dystopia. Let's just look into this word and see how much it really does apply. Okay, so utopia is either an adjective or a noun. It's basically it's describing. It's an anti-utopia. It's an antonym for the word utopia. Community or society that is undesirable or frightening. it translated as bad place, a term that was coined by Sir Thomas More and figures as the title of his best-known work, published in 1516, A Blueprint for an Ideal Society with Minimal Crime, Violence, and Poverty. Dystopias are often characterized by dehumanization, tyrannical governments, environmental disaster, or other characteristics associated with cataclysmic decline in society. Dystopian societies appear in many fictional works, and we're familiar with all that. But just that little bit right there, do you see how any of that may or may not apply? And if so, how? I particularly for me, it was the dehumanization. That word really stood out. And what was the other one?
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. There really is no. I'm sorry. I mean, from what I've read, from what I've researched, there really was nothing. They took the numbers from all the other deaths went down, and they marked everything down as COVID. And I think this COVID thing was around for years. It was just like the regular flu, and now they named it. They named it and put a label on it and scared the shit out of everybody and took over the world. That's all they did. This thing's been around. It's like the regular flu. Oh, it might have been a little harsh. What was it doing? Killing the elderly and people with low immune systems. That's what the flu does. That's what it was doing. 15 years and whatever, however far the research goes, depending on the percentage of how many people are on the planet, it's less than 1% or something, isn't it? I don't even know that. I've been looking at some of the numbers. I don't even know what they look like anymore.
It really has come to the point. If you look at the actual numbers of what they're reporting of people who actually got sick and people who actually died, and I'm not belittling any loss. Any loss is a loss. Losses suck. And whenever someone dies, that's a terrible thing. I'm not saying that's not. I'm not unaware of the fact that needs to be acknowledged. But if you take all that into consideration, the actual amount versus the amount they told us, would happen. Now, what the logical thing for me to worry about now isn't if I'm going to go outside and catch the virus. It's for me to worry about how much it's affected our society. That we all, what kind of life is there, to live if we're all going to, spend, the unforeseeable future stuck in our houses wearing masks and social distancing, and kids can't even go to school, play on a playground. You can't go watch a sports game. You can't go to a concert. I mean, we can't. Society I'm more concerned about what's going on with society than I am if I'm going to catch a virus based on the amount of people that are actually catching and dying from this quote unquote virus. Am I? Is there something wrong with me that I'm more worried about our world than I am in our government and our stability of life than I am if I'm going to catch this freaking virus?
Something's going on with your microphone there for a second. It went low and then it went real high, like your speakers are out or something.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, good and clear. Suso, you still there, man?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, okay. I could barely hear you. Also,
I don't believe this lockdown saved lives. I don't think so for a second. That's what Euler Grant is saying, and I respect his thoughts and views on this. That's fine. I know a lot of people believe that. I don't believe that. I'm allowed to not believe that. It doesn't matter. I don't think I think it's the flu, and the thing would have, if they would have just left it alone, the virus would have ran its course. And okay, some people that were going to die in a few years would have died from the flu anyway. What, quicker? There's suicide, more suicides, more car accidents. There's more deaths and everything across the board than this thing, and we haven't shut down the world. Okay, it did not make it, in my opinion, because I don't know. I'm not a doctor, thank God. But I really don't feel like shutting down the world did anything except cause panic and fear. That's all it did.
No, and there was an actual doctor that went on, I forget what talk show it was, or if it was a YouTube channel. I think it might have been Real News or something like that, where the doctor actually talked about the social distancing is not helping at all. We're seeing, like he's talking about, they're seeing numbers spike in spite of social distancing.
Yes, if it was a real thing and they were going to do the thing properly, they would have stopped all flights immediately.
Mm-hmm.
If it was as big as they said it was going to be, they would have stopped all flights immediately. You would not be allowed to fly.
I agree.
They didn't do that.
Yeah.
Some people are wearing masks, some people aren't. The president wasn't wearing a mask, then he is, then he's not. People around him aren't wearing masks. It's dehumanizing is exactly what it is, Saji. You're absolutely right. And distancing, keeping people away from each other. And, and this is my theory, they're going to do this slowly. They're going to bring it back to a normal, but there's going to be people out there, people governing people. People are going to be, oh, you're not standing 6 feet from each other. And that's going to be bullshit. And that's going to be going on. And once everybody starts to kind of slack off, oh my God, guess what? Second wave, here it is again, and it's worse.
Yeah, I've heard other people say that's basically the writing on the wall. Yeah.
Every couple of years is what I'm thinking. I think it's going to be every couple of years, and they're just going to make it like a normal thing to where all these kids growing up are going to go, cool, we get our 3-month world vacation again, and it's going to be normal. So when they do want to hit the hammer down and do whatever they want to do for whatever reason, nobody's going to be looking.
I'm right there with you. All right, can you hear me? Ebro keeps muting me and unmuting me, but yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, I really do feel like I'm not. I don't know. It's hard for me to say what I'm trying to say without sounding like I don't. I do believe that people who really feel that way and want to, I think that's what's coming is that we're going to have two separate points. We're going to have two separate points of view, and we're going to have people who are anxious to resume things back to the way they were, and people who are truly frightened because they truly believe that the social distancing and wearing a mask and staying away from everybody is the answer to survival. Your natural instinct to want to survive. Okay, but at what expense are you? Do we really want to live in a world like that where everybody can't? I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I got a
quantum of conscious was talking about.
Yeah, I got a brief little. Let me see if I have it up. I'm not even sure if I do. Yeah, I have this little article I read today. I wanna share it with you guys, and then I want to get your feedback. It's not very long. It'll only take me a couple minutes. Okay. I think this guy really worded it quite well, quite eloquently. Okay. Can you hear me okay, Hebrew?
Yeah.
If I fall out, let me know, okay?
Oh, I will, man.
All right. It says, we're all in this together. Stay home. Stay safe. We'll get through this. It's our new normal. Okay? Yeah. These words have been repeated so many times you'd think they're used for selling the latest superfood. They're not selling a superfood, but it is possible that they're trying to sell us something. A sequence of events. Vanessa and I were playing our morning game of sequence and drinking our coffee in early April. We've been playing card games before work since well before the COVID-19 chaos. Just before the news shifted to commercial, the news person stated, "Stay home, stay safe." The commercials came on with one after another using the phrases I mentioned above. That was the moment I first realized how often those phrases were coming at us. Of course, once you notice something like this, you can't not see it and hear it anymore. Welcome to the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon. Perhaps my bringing it up to you will make you aware now too. Whether the coordinated use of these phrases was some sort of nationwide scheme created by a group behind the quote unquote curtain, or it was simple coincidence, we've been primed, and it's had a visible impact on people's thoughts, words, and actions. Behavioral priming, though its effects are controversial, psychologists, researchers, and marketers have been testing behavioral priming since the middle of the 20th century. If you're not familiar with priming, it's the ability to influence someone's thoughts, attitudes, behaviors without them knowing about it through exposing them to a previous stimulus. For example, repeating the phrase, "stay home, stay safe," could be a form of priming, as it has the potential to impact the way people think or don't think and just do, speak, or act. The past 25 years have been amazing and have seen amazing empirical advances in our knowledge and of kinds of psychological concepts and processes that can be primed or put into motion unconsciously. Social norms to guide or channel behavior within the situation, goals to achieve high performance, to cooperate with an opponent, to be fair minded, egalitarian, emotions that shape our reactions and responses to subsequent unrelated stimuli. And of course, knowledge structures such as stereotypes and trait constructs for use in the comprehension and encoding of often ambiguous social behavior. And social behavior itself can be produced unconsciously in the same fashion. Still, more recently, though, priming effects of even greater complexity have been discovered, such as in the non-conscious activation of deep cultural ideologies and other interpersonal relations. Okay, that's the quote. So consider this statement. We're all in this together. If you hear this over and over and unconsciously believe it, then it means those who don't follow the conventional recommendations aren't in this with you. They're outsiders. They're easy to target and hate and slander. It feels okay to treat them as outsiders because people believe that they have the support of their pack to do so. Or take this one, stay home, stay safe. This implies that by staying home, you're doing something that helps protect people. To not stay home then would mean would mean putting others at risk. It sets the stage for people to easily buy into the idea that if you don't stay home, you're selfish. There's nothing to prove this statement is accurate. Recent data says the opposite. 66% of hospitalizations in New York are from people sheltering in place. Yet, if you ask the average person what they should do to protect themselves and others, they'd say, I should stay home to stay safe. Behavioral priming can lead us to believing something is a fact, even without evidence to support it. It would also explain why some people feel it's okay to throw stones at those who believe something other than staying home. They want to slander doctors who suggest we're actually safer being at work. Maybe their strong emotion comes from the fact that they've been well primed over the past couple of months. And finally, what about this? A new normal. A perfect phrase to prime you to accept a life that's different from the life we've lived up until 2020. If you believe whatever you're told or whatever we're told to do next is the new normal, after hearing that phrase 1,000 times, you will be less likely to question whether that suggested normal, whatever that suggested normal might be. But what if, and a big what if, I'm not suggesting that this is some sort of global conspiracy or that a group evil-minded people decided to take advantage of a situation we're in right now to create a different way of living. it's possible somebody simply threw a few phrases together and they took off faster than a contradictory video on YouTube, but with a far less pushback. Maybe it was just a coincidence. I'm only asking the question, what if? What if the phrases we've constantly heard have shaped the way we think about our actions, the way we judge others, actions, and the way we might accept life in the future if it becomes different from what we've experienced in the past? What if there are motivations behind all of this that aren't pure? The only way to find this out is to ask questions. The weirdest part in it all is once people begin asking questions, they're often met with an onslaught of hate and anger, which makes you wonder even more if there isn't something behind it all. But what if, by you simply asking, what if, you start to feel less concerned about COVID-19 and more about where we're headed as a country? Of course, I could be way off base with my questions. If I am, I don't mind. I'm simply asking questions worth considering. Wisdom comes from asking questions, not from simply following along with whatever we're told. We all need to ask more questions rather than accept all answers. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I'll let Susil handle it since he is our caller.
Oh, thanks.
Oh no, I mean that was really well written. Wouldn't you agree?
Hey, you just got 10 minutes. Shut up. Mute him. Would you mute him? Listening to that whole thing, wow, where am I going to respond? Well, yeah, the one thing that stuck out to me was I'm thinking this thing would be a gradual thing. I don't know. It's a theory. It's a thought that, it's going to stop and go and it's going to go back to somewhat of a normal. And then they're just going to pull a little bit of your freedoms away slowly and gradually. And at some point, 30, 40, 50 years down the line, nobody's even going to see anything. They're going to think that is normal. But now if you go to the other end of the spectrum, I believe Quantum of Conscious talked about it, how they're gonna bring back a normal, and then they're gonna get into this second wave during the winter, and it's just gonna be awful, and everybody's going to beg for the vaccine. I think that makes absolute perfect sense. I'm used to them. You read back in history, they take their time. They'll take 2,000 years to take control of something or do some kind of conspiracy. They don't care how long it takes. Mm-hmm. That's why I was wondering if this whole thing isn't just an AI. If an AI doesn't have to worry about a lifespan, an AI calling the shots right across the board, right at the very top. That's why to me, I'm like, well, a lot of the things seem absolutely ridiculous to us because it's an AI doing it and it's learning. It's still, or it knows, or like I said, or it's already so smart that it knows that it's stupid. And it wants to see how many people are going to come out and go, hey, that's stupid. The whole thing about that and seeing the Mandela Effect, actually seeing things change before my eyes, that doesn't happen often. Might have happened twice. Look, that's also possible. That's a possibility. The computer program thing comes into play there. The whole NPC people walking around like drones, just doing what the program is telling them to do. They don't have emotions. They don't care. It's funny. I've overheard people say, wow, we don't want to say NPC because it hurts their feelings. It hurts. You're not talking mean about somebody. Well, if it's really an NPC, he ain't hurting nobody's feelings. It's part of the program. When it dies, it goes back to source. I'm guessing. I mean, I'm paraphrasing. I'm paraphrasing myself with my own theories. We, the spirits, the souls, move on, learn, and grow. I don't know to what ends. But if there are NPCs, and I did say if, I don't know, then to me, they're just part of the program. They're just part of the whole entire system. That it would be like, I guess, I don't know. I was going to say it'd be like cursing God. That doesn't work. I'm going to pull back on saying that because it's not. If it's a computer, if God is a computer program, well, what are you going to do, man?
Right.
I mean, I've said that's possible. And I'm not saying there's not something outside of that, because we could be within a realm, within a reality, within a realm, within a reality. At this point, I guess I shouldn't project stuff like that. But but it, to me, we're growing, we're learning, and
Oh, absolutely.
it's a mindset thing. It's going to stay a mindset thing. To me, it's where we're going to focus. We have been Mandela affected. We know reality shifts. We know it can shift in a blink. Okay, we know weird stuff can change, and you just with no explanation. So why can't we wake up tomorrow morning with everybody going, "Wow, they said we ain't have to wear the masks anymore," and then it's going to be a slow open, and we're going to reopen the United States. And okay, there's 2 or 3 states that are still having problems. I don't know. I'm over here and stuff. I don't know. I hear Baltimore's super bad. I hear Michigan's bad. I don't know.
Massachusetts is really bad. Yeah.
Those places are going to end up, maybe they're test places. I know those places started early with a lot of things, shutting stuff down. And first couple of places that hit, New York, Florida, California, Baltimore, Michigan.
Washington.
Yeah, and Louisiana at first got hit real hard. I think it has a lot to do with higher density population.
Washington was one of the first, I think.
I heard New Jersey was bad.
Yeah.
But, I'm like, okay, it was the flu like any other flu, and they just named it something else and put their named flu in a category and made it look bad. And I heard the numbers were doubled in a lot of places. And, I seen lists of how much money the hospitals get for saying it was a COVID. And I mean, come on. But something, it's just, I don't understand why people aren't, but there are people standing up for that. And that's, there are people protesting that stuff. More power to them. I think that's great. They're doing it for us. And I like to think we're doing our part by being on here and reporting what we feel is going on or whatever. If I'm protesting, if I go out to protest, that's the last thing I'm doing. I'm getting arrested, and I'm going to, I need to speak to somebody now. I understand what they're doing, the peaceful protests and all, but I also think we need to boycott things. We're going to have to start boycotting things where everybody's going to want, the ball games are going to go on TV with nobody in the stands, and everybody's going to run to the TV and watch it.
Right.
And I won't. I mean, if it's downstairs in the bar, look, I ain't working, so I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to stay there. I don't have to watch it. But I'm sure they put it on down there. I don't know. I think it's sad. I don't think we can let this happen, and we need to stand up for it and not watch these games.
Well, that goes all the way back to
on TV with no fans.
I don't know if you remember this.
Watch these games when we're stuck at home.
I don't know if you remember this or not, but during when they had the bird flu break, there was a lot of empty stands in baseball when the seasons first started, and you see whoever was in the stands, you saw them wearing masks. I don't think it happened so much in the Midwest or in New York or anything like that, but I definitely think there was a lot of it going on in Toronto and what's the other one? I keep forgetting Toronto and
Yeah, well, I mean, and
the last I heard, a lot of other countries were opening up. Has anybody heard anything about that, or are other countries opening up?
Oh yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I think
Sweden's been catching the most press because they've just decided to do what is it called, the herd immunity thing, where they just carry on as normal and let everybody catch it and get past it and build up immunities, and they've got a lot of flack for that. I don't know what all the numbers are, but it seems to be working out for them. in their particular case.
Mexico's done the same thing too. There's a lot of Mexican territories that never even closed down. They never did. They kept partying. They had their Cinco de Mayo celebration. No, not Cinco de Mayo. There was another celebration they had. Cinco de Mayo is actually more celebrated in the United States than it is in Mexico, believe it or not. But they had their celebrations, and they just kept going like normal, and there was a lot of people getting pissed off at them. I'm sorry. Suso, you're breaking up, man.
I haven't said anything.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you did.
But I will say that I saw on Facebook a couple of people driving, like they were having parades for people. And I guess birthday parades or whatever, all their friends would get in their car at a certain time and drive by the house and throw presents out the window or whatever. And you know, they're enjoying it. They think it's fun. And I've seen it. I know it was one because friends of mine did it that I used to work with, and I was so close to getting on there, going, guys, this is super sad, man. You all should have just went in the house and drank some beers, and I don't understand what you're doing. And I realized stop, because one of the people's husbands passed to this stuff, and I'm not going through explaining what my thoughts and beliefs are. They don't want to hear from me. You know, they don't want to hear that stuff.
Yeah, there is a time and a place for it, but yeah.
Seji, I just wanted to say real quick, caller, please call back. We'll answer your call. Just call back here in a little bit. Let's finish this call. That's all. We had another one, but that's all right.
Let me go. You guys done with me?
Huh?
Sorry, I can go. Let somebody else in. I can go. Let somebody else in.
All right. Well, no, you don't have to. You don't want to. I mean, they're gone.
I was going to say, have you seen any of the parade things? Have you seen those things?
No.
I did see a thing on the news where they were doing that for for children's birthday parties. Instead of having people over, they just have like a caravan drive by the house, and like you said, hand or throw presents out the windows of the car, do a present, you know, giving them their gifts that way and things like that. And you know what? I give them credit for being creative and coming up with a way to still celebrate the kid's birthday without having to get, you know, people too worked up and upset about it. So kudos to them for that. But it's still, you know, I'm still, that's not the level of acceptance I'm rooting for.
You know what? I just realized this. This just hit me. Listen to this. The people that believe that they should do the social distancing and gloves and masks and to get rid, honestly believe this is going to end, that this is not forever. The people that are against the masks and know it's bullshit and everything else honestly know that this is here forever and this ain't going away. And I think that's the difference. The people that are wearing the masks and believe it's a real thing honestly believe that it's going to go away and things are going to go back to normal. They don't think this is forever.
Exactly. Yeah. Because if they did, they wouldn't be so easily, they wouldn't be conforming so easily, right?
I think if they really believe, and maybe I see, and I hate to say that, maybe we should back up and say, hey, maybe this isn't forever, but we know it's bullshit, and we know there's other agendas here, and we know it's coming again, and I hate talking about the second wave. That's so overdrawn. I'm hoping it doesn't happen at all. I'm hoping it's complete bullshit.
Me too.
But I'm thinking if it is a second wave, I really think it'll be a couple of years down the line, and I think they're going to make that the normal. But it's possible they could come back with it right away. I mean, but see, I don't think anybody would buy it. I think they'd come on tomorrow and say, "Oh my God, we're shutting down Kentucky. It's overrun. Everybody's dying." I don't think anybody would buy it.
Whoa. That's some
What
strong
happened?
winds.
I got the mic and I
I'm getting a bit of a rainstorm over here.
nice, cool you off.
Yeah, maybe. Whew, that wind was starting to pick up, though. That's the only problem.
That's the thing, man. I think that's a big thing. A lot of people believe that this is going to end and things are going to go back to normal. If that was the case, I'd be all on board. Let's get rid of the virus and be done with it. And I think there's a lot
sorry,
of people
guys.
that
I've got
are a little bit smarter than that.
That was weird. I'm sorry about that. I had
Or privy to.
something came on. I apologize.
I don't know what's going on. Tribute to I don't know, knowledge being big.
Are you there?
You hear me?
I hear you. I think Hebrew got up and walked around.
Well, I just think, if this thing's going to end, then yeah, we should all just comply and do what we're told. But I don't think that's the case. I don't. That's why I'm curious. Have others started opening up? What's the deal? Did you hear anything about other countries opening up? Anybody in chat hear about other countries opening up?
Yeah, I actually got a couple little video clips I was going to share tonight of what's going on in other countries as far as their new normal and how it's affecting them. I was hoping Hebrew might bring them up here shortly. They're all just like about a minute or less long. It's nothing like super like it's going to take a super long time to watch or anything like that. Are you even there, Hebrew?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
What's up? You wanted me to show 1 minute clips of something?
Yeah, I got a couple little clips of what they're doing around in different countries. Suso was even, he even brought it up, so I thought now might be a good time to play them.
Well, we'll play them. Let me check the phone lines real quick, though. Okay, Saji?
Yeah.
Because I know Wichita was wanting to call back in.
I can always sing.
Yeah, I can dance.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you want to stay on there, Suso, we'll play those clips for you.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and sit and watch. I'll get off of here and you guys play that. I'll be able to enjoy it better watching just on the screen and not worrying about the phone.
All right.
That sounds good. Thanks for calling, though. Really appreciate your call.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I didn't even know it was Sunday.
Oh, man. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot for having me on.
Hey, thanks for being on, man.
It's okay, everybody.
All right. Take care, man.
Later, man.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can just play them in the order that I put them in. I think I did that on purpose.
You put them in order?
Well, there's links.
Oh. See, but you put them in Hangouts, though.
Well, they're not pictures.
Okay. See, I have a major problem with Hangouts sometimes, but I'll see if I can get it. Did you send it to the one?
Do you want me to put them in the other way, the way you said before, on Messenger or whatever?
No. Hang on. Are these from Twitter, by the way?
Yes.
All right, let's go on to Twitter. Let's see here. Are they in order?
Yeah, just click on the top one, then the middle one, then the third one.
All right, cool. We're going to head and do that. Thanks, Suso, for your call. And I'd also like to thank Lotar 900 for his call as well. Those are both wonderful calls. Wichita, if you want to call back, I'll have to put the phone lines back on. But you can call back. Let me go ahead and restart the phone lines. Let's see here. I don't see any videos, man. I see bees. I see an article.
Okay, let me see here. Let me go check. I'm pretty sure they all say you got 3 links that say HTTPS Twitter,
Oh,
right?
okay. Right. Yep.
And then and then all the way at the bottom you'll see article what if, and then I already read that article that says Tom Nicola Prime. That's what I read earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And then the very bottom link says twitter.com.
Oh, yeah, I remember this. I believe this is in France or whatever. They're all said it intended are greenhouse like things outside of a restaurant.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead and hit the screen share, and we're gonna watch this first clip. Where the heck is my screen share at? I got so many.
I believe this is Amsterdam, a restaurant in Amsterdam.
Oh, Amsterdam. Okay. Let me wind that back, and we'll put it on pause.
You may want to turn the volume down because I don't know about the copyrights on whatever music or what audio we might get. So, it's up to you. I'm just throwing it out there.
Oh yeah. Well, why the heck is it letting me do my thing here? Okay, go to share screen. There's the share application windows. No, that's not the window I wanted. Huh.
This is always my favorite part of the show, watching you try to get your computer to work.
Well, it's just that I must have clicked off of it or something because it went kablooey. Plus, I'm trying to keep up with what's going on outside. Let's see. Okay, there's the first one. Redirecting. Gosh dang it. Why is it? It's not letting me stay in StreamYard. Like I click on the Twitter, it takes me out of StreamYard for some reason.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think I have to click the other thing. Hold on, people having technical difficulties here tonight on Hebrew from Eternia.
Don't.
It's a very shifty Sunday here tonight. I can't share that. That's our Hangouts. I'll have to go to the actual Hangout page. It's not letting me do it for some reason.
All right.
It's being very shifty, sir. Very, very shifty. Okay, sorry. Private chat. It's just as long as a female cat. Private chat. Okay. Well, I'm also running another program with one of the movies I'm trying to download. So that might have something to do with it. By the time I get this up here, people are going to forget what the heck we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, do you want me to put it in Messenger? I can do that.
No, don't do it. I got it, man. I got it. You like my song?
I think it's a #1 international hit.
Oh man. Okay.
It's going to be right underneath the new jam. Stay home, be safe.
Right. I think you might have triggered Suso there with that article. I'm not sure.
Hey, the article triggered me, so
yeah. Well, I'm getting rain. Like I said, like Suso said, it might cool things off. I'm hoping it does.
Yeah, can you imagine getting your food served by in this fashion?
Wait, do you see this?
Yes, you can maximize the screen down there in the right-hand corner if you want to.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Okay, I will. Just give me one more second. Sorry, folks. There you go. Nice and big now. Yeah, look at these. Yeah, this is ridiculous. This is taking things a bit too far, in my opinion. All right, are you ready?
Yeah, let's watch it. Let's see what how
Let's
they're getting down in Amsterdam.
let's check it out. Oh, where's the sound? Okay.
No audio on this one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're basically sitting inside. I kind of wouldn't mind that. You know, you get your privacy. You don't have people around you. But oh my gosh, look at they're wearing shields. Oh boy. Now this would be kind of annoying, but you know, I don't know. Something about that the little coziness of it kind of makes me almost want to do it, but not because I have to do it, but like just do it for fun.
Well, yeah, I mean it's fun for the what is the word I'm looking for the I don't know how to say it, but like for just something different for a variety, but not for it to be a new dystopian way of life, right?
Right. No, I would not want this to be the new normal. But you know what? Actually, you wouldn't have people bothering you. You wouldn't have people throwing bread rolls at you. You wouldn't have to worry about someone bumping into you or accidentally knocking over a wine glass over your brand new slacks.
Right? Yeah. Or if you brought your child, worry about him falling over the edge into the water because he's safely contained in the glass.
Right. I mean, that'd be one reason why I'd want to do it. Here, let me shut down all the extra crap I got on here. The banners and stuff. There we go. I still want people to order my shirt, so I'll leave that one up.
Yeah, just go on to the very next link if you can.
Very next link, yes, sir. Hey, no, get down from there. Oh, I almost shared my private information.
I know, right? I saw your credit card information. I'm about to go order some shit.
As long as you order on my t-shirt shop, I'm okay with it.
All right. Yeah, you'll get a kickback.
Right. Hey, wait a minute. It's on my credit card. Okay, the next one down. Here we go. Twitter. Oh, sorry. Here, let me focus it on just.
Hey, look, you can see all the numbers behind my name now.
Oh, cool. Well, not now.
Not now, but that's okay.
I'm hogging the whole screen. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. There we go. All right, let's get to the.
Oh, you definitely got to rewind this.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I'm a little bit slow. No, we're not. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? That's like the boy in the.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Oh, brother. They do know that they can. That it's open on the other side, right? Like it's not like it's closed off.
Right. I mean, well, somebody went through a lot of effort to make that happen, though. Constructing the wood, buying the plastic.
Hug limit, or hug time. Okay. Okay.
Oh, my girls. Where's the other one? Oh, there you are.
Well, I mean, they're getting. I don't know.
Yeah. It really kind of like it kind of psychologically messes with you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's you know the word I'm looking for. I'll tell you, it's retarded. How about that? And that's putting it delicately. Oh
yeah,
my gosh!
you can't make this stuff up.
Oh, I know it, man. Well, you could, but it
wouldn't be nearly as interesting.
No. Oh my goodness. You know, I gotta say though, this isn't as funny as the mannequins.
No. And it wasn't meant to be funny. It just happens to be.
It's ridiculous, is what it
Yeah.
is. It's just
Right.
ridiculous.
Well, the last one is kind of like a collage of different countries all around the world. You'll see.
Okay, let me get it. I guess it would help if I shared my screen, huh? Let's take you off of here. Ta-da! I'm home.
All right.
How come it goes right back to that's weird.
Yeah, you were there.
Okay. Here's the screen, my good friends and colleagues and whatnot have you. Oh yeah, this might be copyright. You're right. I don't know. I'm just kidding. It's piano music. Should be fine. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Hold on. Okay, here we go. What do they do? Throw the meat at you? Oh my gosh. Oh boy. You know, there should be about 6 feet apart anyway.
You see at the top, it tells you what country it is.
Right? Okay. So if no one's sitting in that desk, they just put a question mark in there?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay, it looks like these are just replaying.
It's repeating now, yeah. So
oh, go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
There's one last link, and it happened over the weekend. I think it was yesterday or today at Ozarks, and it really caught a lot of attention on Twitter. As a party that took place at Ozark Lake.
But I wanted to comment on this one real quick if I can.
Okay.
So you're standing there. You can't go past this line. So what are they doing? Are they throwing the food at you from over the counter?
Yeah, I guess you just kind of point at what you want or say it, and then you just can't go up and breathe on it or touch it.
I can just see it. Yeah, I want some salami and some provolone and give me some of the Parmesan cheese. And they just
and then she probably is used to being able to, she probably likes to hold it and smell it and touch it and feel it and make sure it's good quality. But no, she's going to have to take whatever you can tell from 6 feet away, lady.
Also, I know you couldn't see me doing it, but I was waving my hands as I was saying those words.
Oh, I saw you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the air quotes.
It's impossible to speak with an Italian accent and not do hand gestures.
Oh no. That's
if you don't, then you're not doing the Italian accent right.
My grandpa used to have a joke. He is full-blooded Sicilian. So he used to say, if I ever lost my hands in an accident or somebody times, I wouldn't be able to talk. Well, that's all Italians. If you tie you want to shut up an Italian, just tie his hands.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, oh boy. It isn't racist if I say it. Just saying.
Well, yeah, I see what you're saying.
No, but we have one more of those, huh?
Well, the last one, yeah.
Okay. Let's see how amused I'm going to be at this. Wow, we got 37 comments. I didn't even realize it because I'm screen sharing. Wow. Anyway, click.
I'll go and see what people are saying.
All right, man. Thanks. Come knock at our door. Come knock at our door.
Awake and Activate says she's going to have a premiere here in a little bit, if anyone's still awake.
Ah, okay. Cool. Well, I invited her backstage after the show, but I guess since she's going to have that premiere, she won't be able to join us.
Right. Eddie Von King, the real one, couldn't believe they closed every 2 urinals. Left LMAO, he says.
Yeah. Now, wait.
Houston made it in the clip. I think it was the barber scene. Oiler Greg was like, "Woo, Houston represent. What's up?"
Cool, man. After we watch this, we need to go ahead and mention the contest, and then I'm going to. Oh man, I wish I was swimming.
Yeah, this is Ozark Lake. They are not practicing. They caught a lot of flack because they practiced no new normal this weekend. It got everybody in an uproar. Tell me what you think when you watch it.
Well, I'll tell you what I think already, but yeah, I'll tell you what I think when I think it, when I see what I'm seeing. You know what I'm seeing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, saying.
Yeah.
You may want to turn the volume down. It's kind of loud.
All right.
We're not all the way down, but kind of halfway at least.
Oh yeah. Because my sensitive mic, you can hear me knocking a mile away, like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, you weren't kidding. Yeah, I gotta say, man, that looks really good, actually. But I wouldn't want to get in a crowded pool anyway.
Now, if you were there, would you be running around telling everyone to put their mask on, or would you just jump in the pool and do a cannonball?
I would do a cannonball because I respect my life, and I don't want to be killed. Would you feel unsafe there with all those people not practicing the new normal? You know what? I don't know about that. I wouldn't feel like unsafe or anything, but I mean, the only thing I would be afraid of is getting crushed by all these people. Oh, okay. Yeah. I would be worried about if I can't remember if I'm allergic to shellfish or not. Oh, okay. Well, isn't this a pool? It's a pool party, yeah, with bars built into the pool. We know here's the thing about pools, man. Chlorine kills everything. If it's one thing I've learned from my grandpa working at the state health department, he used to say chlorine kills everything, and I truly believe that. So I mean, even if COVID-19 was a thing over there in this area, it's a thing. It's the Ozark. No, that's not okay. Never mind. What I'm saying is, I wouldn't be frightened of this either way. Right. Except for some of these people here look like they could probably crush me pretty good. Yeah, it's in Missouri. The show me state. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, it looks like they're showing. Yeah. They're showing people how it's done, how not to
Yeah,
be
you should have seen like there was a yeah. So the news had a field day with this one. Let me tell you,
Oh, I bet.
it was. You would think they were watching a horror movie.
Well, I tell you, I'm not too far from there. But you know, anyway. So there we go. There you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, man, look at all the numbers you have.
Like just couldn't decide on one.
Oh man, that's hilarious. So let's read some of the comments here. Cannonball, another late night says. CJ Wood. Oh, CJ Wood, another late night has joined us. Hi guys. Y'all knocked on the show, which is rooted to my TV. Now my dang dogs are barking. Hey, let's do that again. Hold on. All right. Hey, who is that? Who is that? Who's there? Who's there?
Who's at the door?
There's someone at the door. Go get him, boy. Go get him.
Well, she just shut you off.
Yeah, probably. You ever notice that though when you have a dog and like you have a dog and you can like I won't say tease them, but like sort of just mess with them, like knock on something and they get all crazy. You know, and then,
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you just make a little tapping noise and their ears perk up and they looking around waiting to hear it one more time. Yeah.
We had a dog like that once where you'd say, "Who's there? Who is it? Go see who it is," and they would just spin in circles and start barking and wagging their tail. And I kind of felt bad though when they went to the door and there was no one there. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, all of that for nothing. Yeah. Oh, or better yet, I had a dog that would get jealous whenever I would like get affectionate with my wife, like come sit next to her, put my arm around her, or hug her, kiss her, whatever. You know, if I was just anywhere remote, if I got like literally right next to her, the dog had to come try to separate us. It would literally take its nose and put it in between us and try to push me away.
Oh man.
It was jealous.
I'll tell you what, when my mom was growing up, my grandparents, they had a dog. My mom and my aunt and uncle, I think my mom and my aunt shared a room, and my uncle had his own room. But anyway, they had this little, I think it was a Chihuahua. I'm not sure. But when they would sleep, the dog would sleep there by their feet. And when one of them would move their feet, the dog would like snap at him. And
okay. Now, are we taking any more calls? Because I noticed you don't have the number on the screen anymore.
No, the phone lines are closed down. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and give this room one last shout out, which we have a lot of people watching, so that's pretty awesome.
Yes, thank you everybody for showing up, being here, and showing support. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me. It's good to see people who haven't been here in a while come back in. I'm glad to see that as well. Like Goyler Greg, Eddie Von King. I mean, he's been showing up lately. CJ. I'm sorry, I'm doing the shout out. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say also, I'm just glad that the chat is popping. Like there's a lot of it's not popping, it's hopping. Like there's a lot of people. The chat's very active.
Oh yeah, and everybody's opinion is welcome, and I love how everybody's so nice to each other and can you know even when they don't agree, they're still cordial to each other. That's what's up, man. I noticed that everybody's opinion is valid, everybody's experience is worthy. So
everybody's respecting everyone else's opinion, and I do appreciate that. Thank you, guys. But anyway, Euler Greg. Awake and activate with a wrench. Catherine Snows, Eddie Von Keen, the real one, coming in like a lion and going out like a lamb. Michael Fontaine.
Michael Fontaine.
Michael Fontaine.
Michael Fontaine. Huh.
And as Michelle would say, Michael Fontaine, what?
What?
Hey, you did a good job there, man. So let's see here. Awake and Activate, I mentioned her. Of course, Suso was here. Good call, Mr. Suso. Lothar 900, good call for him as well. And it was the first time we had two people on the line at the same time. I think it worked out all right. Let's see here. And I mentioned Euler Greg. CJ Wood is in the house.
Did you say another late night 78?
I was just getting ready to, my good friend. Another late night 78, which follows my numbers. Hey, that's pretty cool. Let's see here. Scrolling. Keep those space bars rolling. I don't know. But I think that's it. If anyone's name who I forgot to mention, we still appreciate you coming on and chatting in the chat. And
oh yeah, Red Shirt was here.
That's right, Red Shirt Blues.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me, my good friend. Oh, and of course we can't forget what's his name again?
We can't forget, but what's his name again? I'm not saying I forgot. I just want to see if you remember.
Oh yeah, you're testing me, huh? I don't know. Oh no. This is a tough one. Something fatalities? No, not fatalities. Fantalities? Remember? Okay, well, he's muted up. And I didn't do it this time, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know who. I can't remember exactly how to say it, but I do know who you're referring to, and I can't go to that part of the chat, unfortunately, to see. So,
all right, well, that's cool, man. He would just like to know that we did mention in the show. And as for my final thoughts, I don't know, man. I gotta say, this whatchamadoodle thingy is going to go away sooner or later, and I don't think. Even though things have Michael Fontaine has reminded me of the contest. That will be my final thoughts.
okay.
I think, here's what I think, and I'm going to...
Have you got any new entries? I'm curious.
Well, here's the thing I want to say. No. Lotar 900's been sending entries like crazy. I think he just sent another one. I will show it here in a few seconds. But the Saggy, guess what Saggy looks like contest, and how it works, if I'm not mistaken, you got to send in a picture of what you think Saggy looks like, and I think it has to be hand drawn. That was Lorraine Lamore's rules. But
I think you can use any medium of your choice, paint, colored pencils. Yeah.
Right. No, you could color it or paint it or whatever, but you got to send in, and I think we're going to extend the contest past next week. I think next week was the deadline, but I think I need to get just a few more entries. And you know what? If there's no more entries, I think we're going to declare who the winner just for sending something in.
You mean the only person that sent anything in so far would win by default?
Yes.
So how are you guys going to let that happen? I mean, seriously, somebody's got to send something in, even if it's just a generic stick drawing, just to throw your name in the hat.
By the way, I think we should tell them what's at stake. I think the first prize winner gets $25.
And all expense. No, never mind. Go ahead.
All expenses paid to Gatorland. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't hold me to that. Okay, I've got a lawyer. But no. Second or first place is 25. Second place is $20, and third place gets a free T-shirt.
Yes and no. First place for the drawing is $25.
Okay.
Second place is the T-shirt. There's also a second drawing for people who may have already seen what I look like or know what I look like. They can send in a artistic resemblance of myself and being drawing to enter for a prize of $20. She just made it $5 less for people who've already seen me, because now it's kind of boiled down to a art contest versus just an abstract thought of what I might look like.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the contest. So if you don't know what I look like and you haven't seen me before, send in an image of that you've drawn, painted, or somehow conceptualized that you would think is a likeness of me, and then we will show the images. And the winner, whoever, I guess Lorraine would be the final judge, and then we can maybe let chat vote too, and whoever wins will get the money.
Send your entry to my email, and in the subject line, make sure you put in Saggy contest or what does Saggy look like contest. Either one of those two are acceptable. And entries must be in by, let's say, 2 weeks from now.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. That'll give people enough time, I think, to send all the entries. Because this is for money, people. Come on. It's for money. Actual cold hard cash in your hand. Well, not in your hand, but in your bank account. I assume that's how it's going to work. Take it away, Saggy. Hello?
I'm trying to figure out what exactly is two weeks from now. It looks like that would be the 7th of June.
All right. So everyone's got till the 7th of June to send in their entry. That's plenty of time. And my final thoughts are this, by the way, Saggy.
All right.
If you catch yourself having a dream that a famous person is going to hit you in the gut, just remember, before you go to bed at night, put a silver plate under your shirt just before you go to bed. That way, when the celebrity hits you in your gut in your dream, it'll protect you.
Okay. Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, my final thoughts are don't really have any final thoughts. I mean, I'm just thankful for everybody who showed up. I had a lot of fun being on here with you tonight, as usual. And looking forward to Taco Tuesday that's coming up. We're going to have Dark Wolf Den as a guest. He's got a new radio show on Rip and Rabbit Hole. And he also is sponsoring the Mandela conference this year, like he did last year. And they got a panel lined up. We're gonna look at that panel. We're gonna discuss some of the people on the panel. I was talking to Hebrew, and I was like, you know what? I don't even know who half of these people are. I've never even heard of them or know anything about them. So maybe Dark Wolf Den can come on and shed some light as to who's who and what's what, and it should make for an interesting show. So make sure you guys tune in Taco Tuesday.
That's right, Taco Tuesday. I almost forgot about that. I'm glad you reminded me. That was the other huge announcement I wanted to make. Thank you, Saggy. It totally slipped my mind. I don't know how. What the heck's the matter with me?
You just got caught up in the moment. It happens.
I guess so. But yeah, Dark Wolf Den on Taco Tuesday. Taco Tuesday, usually we come on about 8 or 8:30 Central, 9:30 Central on your other was that East Coast? Eastern time. Now, what's it there on the West Coast? What is that? I forget. Is West Coast California? I don't know. But done. Little help here.
Yeah, California is about as West Coast as you can get, my friend.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I'm dropping a link in chat here real quick. Oh, man, I had it. Oh, here we go.
Uh-oh.
For the Rippin' Ratty Rabbit Holes channel.
Mm-hmm.
And that way people can go to it if they're not already subscribed. And I can't remember what night Dark Wolf Den is on there, but they do also have a Mandela Effect night on that channel. If you're not already subscribed, I strongly encourage you to do so. And that's really all I got.
Oh, and hey, folks, don't forget Wake and Activate's having a show tonight, a premiere.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So I think we got all the shameless plugs out of the way, didn't we?
I believe so, yes.
All right, cool. Well, with that being said, guys, again, I like to thank my special guests, Suso and Lothar 900. Well, they weren't special guests, but they called in. Thanks, guys, for the awesome phone calls. And until next time, as always, this is Hebro77 reminding you, take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you next time. Actually, we'll see you on Taco Tuesday with our special guest, Dark Wolf Den.
S is for the S's that have disappeared. H is for Haas, it's changed, my dear. I is for incredible, lots of changes to our edibles. F is freaky 'cause Mandela effects are all the buzz. And T is for time that's running fast. Y is for memories, hope they last. If it's not a fun day, won't you join me Shifty Sunday? Shifty Sunday for Emmys. Shifty Sunday, if you please.
Bleep, 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 bleep. That's all, folks.